This story isn't one that I really wanted to be a part of, but that doesn't make it any less interesting. Here are two neighbors. This is Neil, he's fat, and this is his best friend Kevin. He's kind of a dweeb. Today was not an ordinary day of school. Something clearly has both of them shaken. But what was it that made this day any different? The bus pulled up, and the boys sluggishly got him. Look at these kids. They don't even sit with them. So, as they do every day, Kevin and Neil sit next to each other. Sorry. It brings back memories. Back to the story. Neil and Kevin stroll into class. The first part of their day is fine until they meet in the hallway. The bell rings, Neil screams in terror. But why is he screaming? Why? Dodgeball. That's why. Every slow, chubby kid's nightmare. Meanwhile, Kevin is sitting outside in his section of gym class, where his teacher is explaining they will be doing foot races. No! Kevin had shouted. Can't we talk science? He argued. Back inside, Neil was living his nightmare. Kid after kid were taken in front of Neil. The whistle blew, and before he knew it, he had 3 balls flying at him. One struck him right in the face. Whew, hard to watch. Things weren't going any better for Kevin out on the track. He was trailing some small girl half his size before he eventually tripped over his own feet and watched his classmates mock him from the finish line. The day had come to an end, but this was only day 1. Desperate for some sort of supernatural miracle, Neil had turned to prayer, asking God for super strength so he could get revenge on his classmates. But what Neil didn't know was that his partner in crime, Kevin, had been making a wish at the exact same time. Only difference was, Kevin was asking for super speed. Their prayers had traveled high into the sky, where they collided with me, who was flying innocently home from work. Both of these boys' prayers bounced off my head, knocking the prayers off their original path. So, eventually, when their prayers reached the big guy upstairs, it seemed like Neil's request came from Kevin, and vice versa. God had been distracted, and went ahead and accepted the requests. The very next day, our wimpy friends were right back where they had been humiliated one day earlier. But something had changed. Neil had this unthinkable, unimaginable speed. His classmates tried and tried, but they just couldn't touch him. Neil's speed wasn't the only bust that day. No further than 100 feet away, right outside, Kevin had discovered he had groundbreaking strength. Literally groundbreaking. Just when the two boys' luck looked like it had finally turned, Kevin had been stuck in the cracks of the track. And inside, only seconds apart, Neil lost control of his speed. Tripping over a resting dodgeball, he shot out of an open door that led right to the tracks his buddy had been stuck on. Neil bowled over his best friend's bullies, bringing a smile to Kevin's face. They heard a huge crash, causing both of the boys to run to the scene. When they got there, they found the cracks Kevin had created had caused these holes in the gym, in which all of Neil's bullies had fallen in. Finally! Both Neil and Kevin had defeated their bullies, each one taking care of the other ones. The boys started cracking up, as the tables had turned. The two heroes had walked off, laughing, both with smiles plastered to their faces, and their heads held very